All right, let's talk about accountability. This is probably the number one thing. Like when I recently went through the annual survey results, and so many people are like, I need accountability, I need accountability, I need help with the follow through. And the interesting thing is I'd already had this as the topic for August before I even looked at the survey results. Now, I do think accountability is important, and obviously that's why we're talking about it. But do I believe that if you pick goals that matter to you, you break them down, and you schedule time for them, that you can achieve them without any additional accountability? Absolutely. If you have ever heard me talk before, this is the foundation. These 3 steps. Your goals matter, you've broken them down, you schedule time for them. That's what it is. That's the foundation to achieving your goals. Now, I know that is not easy. It's simple, but not necessarily easy. But I do think that if you do all these things, you can achieve whatever you want. Do I think that some days you can willpower your way through your goals? You can just your way, push through, do something and willpower your way through. Absolutely. Some days you can willpower your way through. However, will additional accountability make it more likely that you achieve your goals? Yeah, it will. And they did a study on it. They actually did a study on accountability to see what percentage of people achieve their goals given different levels of accountability. So interesting. So here are the results. Having an idea of a goal, like having an idea of something you want to do or a goal that you want to achieve, you're 10%. Let me fix that so that it's the correct word. You're 10% likely to achieve that goal just by thinking about it. You have a 10% chance of achieving that goal just by thinking about it, just by having the idea. Now, you have an idea and you consciously decide that you're going to do it. You make a conscious decision like this, I am going to do this. You are 25% likely to achieve that goal. It's pretty good. It's probably about where we are when we don't have any additional support, right? And if you're here listening to me talk, you have additional support. You are doing more than just thinking about your goals or deciding that you're going to do your goals. The next tier, which this part really, really interests me, that it was this direction, deciding when you will do it. That's what's next. To me, scheduling has always been the last step, but deciding when you will do it gives you a 40% chance of achieving that goal. After that is the how. Deciding how you're going to do it gives you a 50% chance to achieve that goal. Then it gets better. When you commit to somebody else that you are going to achieve that goal, you have a 65% chance. That is high, but also I want you to think about the jump from like you deciding that you're going to do it to committing to somebody else. We're not meant to do this by ourselves, right? So please don't feel bad when you struggle to do it on your own, because we're not meant to do this by ourselves. Now, you might be thinking 65% is still pretty low. How do I get that number higher? Well, they found out that having a specific accountability appointment with someone that you've committed to, a specific appointment, you are 95% likely that you will achieve that goal. 95%. That's huge, y'all. Like that number is huge. 95%. There's only a 5% chance you won't do it if you have a specific accountability. I just thought that was so mind-blowing to me. So this week, we're not getting specific. I know if you're here, you're like, wait, I want you to talk about it. I hear you. And I want to start, before we get into the specifics, with just the mindset. The mindset that you can't do this all on your own, and that's okay. You're not meant to just willpower your way and be like don't feel bad. I hear a lot. I hear this a lot from community members, Instagram DMs, all kinds of things. That's like, I should be able to just do it. Like I should be able to just do this XYZ. I should be able to just whatever it is. And what this data showed me and reminded me, I always knew this, but like really solidified it, is no, you're not. We need each other. We need support. We need accountability. We need an additional layer of something other than just deciding ourselves, deciding when and how we're going to do it. That's only 50% of the battle. That's only 50%. 50%, you might still not achieve that goal just by which that I'm like, wow. I'm almost at a loss for words because I was so shocked by the numbers. Because I have always been somebody who focused on this willpower, like just push through, just power through. And that works sometimes, but it doesn't work all the time. And I always was like, okay, well, why doesn't it work? And how can I fix that? And how can I help others fix that? And how can we make sure that we are actually achieving our goals? Well, apparently it's this, a specific accountability appointment. Now, I know that that's not always feasible all the time. And so next week, we are going to talk about some specific ways to create accountability. So make sure that you're subscribed. But what I want your help with is I want to be able to give examples based on your individual goals. And I don't know where the pop-up went. Okay, hold on. I'm going to type it really fast, really fast. Okay. I don't think that grammar is correct. I think on is not the word I want there. But for quickness sake, I want you to comment. If you're here live, share in the chat. If you are watching the replay, comment below. What is the number one goal you feel like you need accountability on? What is the goal that you know that just these first couple steps, when, how, blah, 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 that's not enough for you? You need that extra that extra level of accountability. Because what I want next week, we did the same thing with routines, right? We did like a basic intro mindset routines 101. And then I used exact examples from your comments. I want to do the same thing here. I want to create examples based on your goals, because the truth is, we are probably not going to be able to have a specific accountability appointment for every goal in our lives. We're just not. That is typically a cost. There's a cost to that. There's a time element to that. There's just, it's complicated. There's a complication level to that. So I want you to let me know, what is the number one goal that you feel like you need accountability for? That you feel like you just need, maybe I don't even need a word there. You feel like you need extra accountability. What is that goal that you are like, I always struggle to follow through on that goal? Let me know what it is. And then again, next week, we're going to get specific, and I'm going to talk about specific actions that you can take and how we're going to develop this accountability for you and your specific goals. All right. That's it. That's all I got this week for you.